is a book object, and in this book object has two instance variables. Okay, it has an integer ISBN, and we know, that the ISBN is usually unique, and then we have a title which is a string. Okay, and what I want to do is make sure, of course, my title is not going to be blank. I can't remember the exact conditions, but we'll look as we scroll down. And then, of course, the ISBN has a particular range. So in here, as you can see at the very top, I have my constructor, like we said, right? Like constructor at the top. Then I have my get or sets, right? In here, let's just look at the set title, okay? The set title in here is grabbing the title. Then I am trimming. Remember I talked to you about that last week? So it takes the edges, whatever it is. And I say that it has to be at least 4 characters long. Okay, notice that in this case, if I have the letter A, blank, blank, and B, that's 4 characters long. Okay, so the ones in the middle is okay, right? But, what I cannot have is 1 character only and blanks, because then it's just going to mark it as 1, right? So it's okay. So I would say it has to be at least, greater than 4 characters, and then I will set the title. Otherwise, I don't. And you can see that it's pulled from the top. And if anything goes wrong in here, I'm going to throw a book exception, which is also, it is going to propagate up for whoever called it, right? So then in here, otherwise, I'm going to say book exception, and I'm going to say that the title is too short, and I'm going to throw BE. Now, some people have added a main method in here. I haven't taken it off, otherwise I take points off, because you cannot have a main method here. And in the main method, they usually try something and then catch it. We're not catching anything here. Okay, we're just throwing it off. And the main reason what we'll mean, with this class is because if we create this class and then somebody else is going to create the driver, we don't want them to be able to create invalid objects. They have to go through us, right? And we're not going to let that happen. So that's good software engineering. So now here we go to the ISBN, okay? And the ISBN has to be greater than 100, so 101, right? And less than 1,000. So from 101 to 999, that's a valid ISBN. And if that's the case, then it goes. Otherwise, I'm going to say that the ISBN is not in range. Notice in here that I say the range. I do say, oh, your ISBN is not in range, because then the user is like, what is the range? And then they're going to make a mistake over and over again. And they are going to get angry, and they're going to say, oh, these people, they don't know what to do. Because I've said that. When I try somewhere and it's like bad, I'm like, oh, you were not my student. Okay. So here to string, okay, I'm just putting title and ISBN, end of story, right? No formatting, no extra formatting, that's it. That's from the previous lecture, okay? So any questions about this? It's kind of straight, right? Straight up, okay? But if you have questions, remember, here is the point to ask. And then the book exception, that in the book exception here, remember what I told you. Once you have created one exception, you created them all. You just change the name, and the rest can be the exact same. So there you go. That's my book exception, and that's it. Now, I set my message nicely, but in here I just put error just so I know that, oh yeah, that's error, right? So now, I went in here and I said, okay, let's create a book array class, okay? So let's start from the top, and let me tell you what I was. Notice here that this is not complete by any means, but I wanna do something similar to what you would do in the assignment, okay? So I have a few instance variables. I have the size 3, okay? Because I don't want to have to fill up that array. 3 is pretty good. I mean, just testing, right? Think 211, that'll be 3 million, okay? Now, I have my scanner. I have an integer choice because I'm going to have a menu. The user has to pick an option of something to do, and that's what you're going to have to do in your assignment too. So I decided to do it. And then I have a book array of size, okay? I don't want to see magic numbers. Remember, magic numbers are numbers that you just put in there. Like, I don't want us here in line 10 to have book array equals new book array and the number 3 inside. That's a magic number. what I'm telling you. It just comes out of nowhere. That's why it's magic. Okay? So I don't want it to come out of nowhere. I want to know that it's the size, so that's what it is. Okay? I'm using the do loop, which I almost never use, but I thought, let's give it a break. Poor thing, it's been in the bench for a while. And then I'm gonna call my menu method. Okay? So in this assignment, you have the option of making methods separate. I believe that I'm giving you extra credit for that. Okay? I'm not so sure. Either you have to do it or I'm giving you extra credit, but either way, man, extra credit is extra credit. Okay? So the extra credit comes if you have your main method and you have at least one other method. Okay? You can have more than one. And that will, like if you have your code so nicely distributed with a lot of methods, my card will melt and you will get more extra credit. Okay? Because it's nicer code. It's well done. Okay? So here I have a menu method. Okay? That's the easiest one to do, guys. If you're gonna do one, that's the easy one. Okay? Let me show you my menu method down here. And you can take a picture, a selfie with it, whatever. Okay, here is my menu method. Look at how cute it is. Okay? It just prints to the screen. How easier it can get easier than that. And you get extra credit. Notice that you cannot just get extra credit because it's like this. You have the rest of your code has to be above a certain percentage correct so you can qualify for extra credit. Okay? But look at this. I call my menu and it just says add a book, find a book, print a book, and add. And I can remember if I kept those. I was kind of playing around, so I can't remember what I exactly did. But if you have a menu method like this, public static void menu, man, you have extra credit already. So by all means, here is my gift to you for being here, your extra credit. Okay? Simple. So then I can call my menu anytime, and that's actually really cool for me. So here I created my method. I started my do loop. What is the difference? Okay, here goes a question for you. This is a 111 question, hopefully. Okay? What is the difference between having a do method and a while or for loop? What are the differences between? Mostly between the do and the other two. There are differences between the three. But when would I use the do as opposed to while or for? Do a while will do that. While will do that. But specifically the do method. What is the difference? Yeah, they go all of them repeat the code. But what is the specific? Yeah, I think you know what I think your brain is. It's because probably you never got asked that question. But I think you know. But that's the while loop will do that. I mean, the for loop I kind of know how many times. I say from this number to this number. So I kind of know, right? For the while loop, I will say, well, I don't know how many times. Just keep counting and that. But the do loop will execute at least once. That's the difference. In the while loop, if at the beginning the condition is false, you will never going to execute it. In the for loop, if the condition is false at the beginning, you will never execute it. But if the do loop, no matter what happens, you will always go. Because look at that, it says do and you go down. And when at the very bottom, it asks you. Okay? I am using the do loop because I want the user to see the menu at least once. Right? If the user says, let's look at the menu. If the user says right in here end, then it ends, but it knew that it was going to end, right? We decided the user said, hey, I want to end it, right? But it has to print at least one. And the other ones, if you make a mistake, which my students have made in the past, and I have made it myself quite a few times, I write a condition in my while loop, and I'm like, why is this thing not working well? Surprise, it never got in there, right? Once you realize, my condition is incorrect, then you realize I'm never getting in there, right? But the do loop, no matter what, you go in. Okay? So the do loop says, write the menu, boom, it's written. Okay, so then I am going to read my choice, and it's going to say, okay, if the case is 0, then return trick. Okay, there's two ways of ending the code. You can say return, or you can say system.exit.0. Let me write it down because I forget the system is capitalized, system dot exit, and then 0, okay? When you have system exit 0, the 0 means there is no error. I exited because I felt like it, okay? Now Java has other numbers, exit 1, exit 2, those are codes for errors. We don't care about that, that's not this stuff, okay? But system exit 0 will get you out. And can somebody tell me why return over there in line 19 ends the program? And this is probably something that you also never got asked, but look at line 6. And then that's a hint. And then system exit 0 says line 19 takes it up. And remember, you can see goofy stuff. It's okay, I don't mind. Don't say it in the exam.
Is he asking why line 19 ends the program?
Yeah.
Because it's up with 0 option 0. The user enters 0.
Oh, if I could put that one. But no, the case 0 is because I just said that, but I could put case 20, user place 20, it will end. But I just want to know the effect of line 19. Why return is taking me out of the code? Why am I using return anyways?
It's a value back for where the method.
Exactly, okay? So the method over there says it's void, and it's supposed to send a value back to return to end the method. What method are we running when we run a program? The main method. So the main method is void, right? So if I just say return, it's just sending back, like he said, like Ben said, I'm returning that value, which is nothing, right? I'm just saying return whatever, return void, and I'm out of here. Okay? So basically, it's terminating. That's why, and then it's correct. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So if case 0, then I'm gonna end the program. Okay. Then case 2, I'm gonna say find the book, and that's it. I changed it because I need a boo-boo. Okay. So I put them out of order, but I figured it's good so you know that you can put them in any order you want, right? And then case 1, add a book. Okay. And case 3, print all books. Now, let me tell you the rationale in regards of me writing it like this, okay? If I'm a student and I just started working on this assignment that Blanca gave me, right? So I am working on this assignment. You don't want to do everything at once. You don't want to have everything and every option built at once. We usually code in little pieces, right? Incremental pieces. And so what you want to do is say, okay, I'm going to get my menu and get the menu looping and making sure that it works before I implement any option, right? So I already printed my menu. Now I'm saying, okay, in case 0, I'm going to end the program. Let's see if it really ends. Case 1, oh, it's going to add a book. Okay, let me see if it really does. And then see. Look, let me actually do this. I'm not going to call anything. What I'm going to do here, I'm going incognito. Okay, so I'm just going to do this so that we stay kind of on the same page. Here, it's going to say add a book, find a book, print all books, and then you did not enter a valid choice because the user may enter a different number, right? One that is not 0, 1, 2, 3, right? But the user, users may enter a letter. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to test because the thing that I'm telling you is, hey guys, when you write that method, you cannot exit if there is an exception. You cannot exit if the user enters the wrong number. You continue going until the user enters 0. Okay, so then you have a little challenge there. So you have your menu method, extra credit, and now we're going to work the menu to make sure that it actually does work. Okay, so that's what I did first. I said, hey, let me make sure that. So I recommend that you guys do that. Okay, so here is my menu, and let's say something here. So what I have in here is my do, okay, goes in here. And by the way, guys, here is something that I recommend, okay? Let me just show you. When you have your code here, and if your code gets messed up, right, like this, and it looks ugly, all you need to do is go and press this thing, and it brings it back and makes it look pretty, and then you take the lines off, and look at that beautiful code. So one line, guys, one click. It's one click away, literally, okay? So I put all of this stuff inside the try to make sure that my options are correct, like 1, 2, 3, you know, a number. And I'm going to catch an input mismatch exception. I'm going to make the choice -1, just like this one. -1 for me, I just decided that it was going to be like my error kind of thing, okay? And I'm going to say you did not enter a valid choice. And then okay, so now let me take this out. This is one thing I want to show you. And then I'm going to say continue going while the choice is not equal to 0. Okay, so no matter what happens, I'm going to keep going. Okay? So let's then run this thing. Okay, so I'm going to compile this guy. And then clear. Let me go to the run. Let me clear. And let's run this guy. Okay, so I have my menu. I'm going to first try my options. Add a book, okay, you know. So, and then I'm going to say 2. And then, you know, here is the add a book. This is what was printed, add a book. And then find a book. With number 2, it creates, you know, it's just a test. So let's 3 and say print all books. Okay, so it's working. Now I'm going to add 4, which is not there, 4. And it says you do not enter a valid choice, so that's fine. Now allow me to do this. And now I'm going to enter the letter G. Okay, and look at this. So I'm going to have to end it abruptly. Clear my screen. So why did that happen? So now if you go back and look at my code, you're going to think like, well, you know, here is is -1 right in here. That's one error. The other -1 in here, that's an error. Choice is not 0, but why? Why? Seriously? Is going back in here and pretending that I am not saying anything and just going over and over and over and over. Any ideas? Yes, sir. Say it out, don't be shy. Yeah, I have to reset the scanner. And that is something that I always tell students, and they always forget. Because it's going to when Java began using the scanner about 20 years ago, I was like, what the heck is happening? This happens. And they argue it is a feature. I don't see a feature in this, but okay. So that's when I said, oh, that thing is happening. So here is my scanner. Okay? So I'm going to reset it. After, guys, make it a habit. After you read something and use the value, reset your scanner. No matter where you are, and if this happens or doesn't happen, just do it, because you never know when it's going to happen. You may do it and it doesn't happen on your end, and then I load it in my computer and it happens on my end. It's very weird. It's one of those things that you will never know. Okay? I haven't even tried to decipher to see if I can really find out where it happens. I just reset my scanner. Okay? So before you read again, you reset your scanner. Now, let me show you. Your scanner, when you're declaring it, it says scanner SC equals no scanner system. Okay? When you reset it, you are not going to redeclare the scanner. You're just going to say, you know, the word scanner is not prepending here. So you just grab the scanner and reset it. You clear it up. Basically, what you're doing is cleaning the buffer. Otherwise, it thinks that it's something there, and it keeps on going and going and going. And my students are like, what happened? There is an infinite loop, and I get these emails every semester and in almost every assignment. I get an infinite loop, and I don't know why. And I said, did you reset the scanner? What is that? There you go. Okay, reset your scanner. Now, I reset the scanner, right? So let me compile the guy. I'm gonna run it. And let's run it. Okay, so I'm going to enter 3 just to, you know, to make sure, and then G again, and there you go. until I say 0, then I'm done. Okay? Super silly, but man, reset that scanner. It can take away your weekend. And I am not kidding. You're there the whole Friday instead of going party. Hello? You know, reset your scanner and go have fun. Okay? So here we are. So that's for this. So any questions about the menu or anything? And actually, guys, since you're here and I know you're watching the video, you may take a screenshot or something or a picture, whatever. I am not actually I'm just going to post the video because if I post the code, people are not going to watch it and they're not going to understand where it's coming from. Okay? So if you need to take a picture, this is your chance. So then I'm going to move on and I'm going to work on different things about adding a book and things like that. Okay? So I am going to move on to my okay, so I have a few questions here that we need to kind of address before we move on into here. Okay? So this is my add book method, and I am asking, I'm saying that this method it's supposed to add book objects to book R. Okay? That's what it's supposed to do. Now I'm asking you what information I need to send for the method to do the stuff. Remember, the method is you're hiring it to do stuff. Okay, what do you need to give to do the stuff? So I thought, hey, I'm going to give the array of books, you know, because I want to add the book, so I'm just going to give the array of books. Okay, and then so this is what we need to answer. What information needs to be sent, and then this method is going to return true if the book was successfully added, or it's going to send false otherwise. Okay, so if I added it, then I return true. Otherwise, I'm going to send false. So here I actually created a book, but that's not what it's all about. So what do I need to send? I have an array sending. What else do I need to send? Any ideas? Come on, shoot. Any ideas? Okay, let's think of this. We have an array, and our array has positions, right? Has empty spots. Hopefully, it has some empty spots, right? And I need to add into a spot. Just think of that. What do you need to know in order to add? You're already sending the array. What else do you need to add? It looks like this, right? So visualize it. In this class, it really helps to actually write something. So this is an array of size 4, positions 1 to 3, right? And what do I need to know? I'm going to add a book in there. Thank you. I need to know where I'm going to add it, right? Because if I don't know and I keep on adding in position 0, then I'm just overwriting. If I write somewhere, I need some order here, some organization. So definitely, I need to know where. So let's send then the position. I'm going to say comma int position. So that's the position where I am going to add. Okay, so I am sending the array of books, and I am sending the position. Okay, now my question to you guys is, do I send the book or do I build the book in here? Okay, raise your hand if I send the book. Raise your hand if I don't send the book. The only error was the ones that didn't raise your hand, because either way is correct. Okay? If you send the book, cool. The book has already been validated. Maybe you want to have an extra method where you say build a book instead of build a bear, right? You build a book and then you send the book, right? So correct book. If you don't, then don't send the book. You create the book right in here and then you add it. Okay? Either way, we're good. Okay? Now, if you are going to create a book, remember, you're going to have to read from the user. And now, here is another question that I get often. If if I am reading from the user, what do I validate where? Okay, in this case, you have an ISBN and a title, right? So those are the two things that you have in book.java. Let me just go back in here, and you have an ISBN and a title, okay? So when you create a book and you're sending the parameters to the book constructor, you're sending an integer and you're sending a string, okay? When you send them in your main method, in your driver class, the only thing that you need to make sure, and you will, by the way, is that the ISBN is indeed a number. And you're going to do it because you, by now, I hope you're used to say, try and then catch into mismatch exception in case it's not a number. You don't care about the range, okay? That's the important difference here. You don't care about the range. You just get the number, send it in. The string, do you care if it's blank or not? No, you don't care. You say enter the title. Oh, it's a string. Anything in the world is a string. I gave you a string, okay? And then you just send it in, and that's it, right? Then, when it gets to the book class, the first thing that it's going to do is go into the constructor, and the constructor sends those parameters to the set methods, and over there is where they get judged. Are you okay to be part of my book or not? And that's when the exception happens. So, this one takes care of the details. The other one just says, hey, send me a number and send me a string. No checking the length, nothing. Just read it. Why would you duplicate the effort? Don't do that. This guy is already doing it. Okay? I am not going to read from the user because I'm trying to keep this short. Short code. So, instead of doing that, I am creating a book here. And look at that. I was right by my dog, so I love my dog. So I said, book ABC equals new book. Here's my ISBN, and it says, I love my dog. Okay, that's the title of my book. So I created my book. Okay, so if I wanted to add my book at position 0, position 0, what would I say? What would I type? Anybody tell me. What would I type? Come on, guys, give it a try. If it's incorrect, you know, at least an idea of how the instruction would look like. How would it look like? Okay, so I'm going to add it in position 0. So what else now? Now I want to put it inside the array. What do I do? What is the name of the array of books? And then? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're just starting, guys. We have 16 weeks of this. Okay, brackets. Okay, or pause, yeah, equals. What? Yeah. You see, this was nice team effort, okay? I don't need to do this. I would do this if the pause equals 0, if the position wasn't coming in. But because it's coming in, you know, I'm going to leave it like that. But right now, let me just do this. Let me just do this. And I am going to take the position. I'm going to think that I'm just going to do this. This is going to grab the book and put it into position 0. So what it means is that I have, okay. So position 0 has a book, right? So what do I do here with book array at position 0, you know, in order to print only the ISBN? I want to print the ISBN of the book that is at position 0. How do I print the ISBN Try guys. Yes. Huh? Yes, so how do I do that? But from the beginning, tell me the whole instruction.
I guess system.
Okay. Yes. Yes. ISBN. That sounds like Uber. ISBN. Okay. Success. Okay. Once I grabbed that book and I put it inside here, okay, there is a book, and actually it's not really inside, okay, there is a reference to the book. Actually, it will look like a reference like this. It will look like a reference, and then you're going to have the book here, which has an ISBN and a title. Okay, it's basically there's a reference to it. There is, I can tell you that it's inside, but it's not technically inside. There is a reference to it. Okay, so basically, if I do that, system output at book array at position 0, it's going to go down here, and then it has a reference to here, so it comes in here, and then it says, hey, get the ISBN. So it grabs this and prints that. Okay, the idea in here is that you have a data structure, and inside that data structure you have an object, and inside that object you have instance variables. Okay, so that's how we're going to access this thing. Okay, so in here, if I wanted to only print ISBNs, I could do that with get. Okay, this is the most important part. Yes, you have a question. You have a question. Oh, okay. So this is the most important part that I want, if anything, for you to get out of this. This is going to help you a lot with your assignment, because we have several instance variables, and I believe that in the computer, I have this assignment every semester, but every semester is a different object. And in the printing, in one of them, I ask you to print all the elements, and in the other one, I ask you about a condition. For example, in this case, we say, okay, print only the elements in the array that are Windows computers, or only the ones that are Linux. Right? So you have to visit each position and go inside and say, oh, get OS, and then compare if it's 1, 2, or 3, and then say print or not print. Right? But you have to remember that inside that array, there is an object, and in that object, there is that. So it's a reference, and there's an object. Okay? So any questions about that? Okay, so in this case, I'm not gonna print the ISBN, but I'm gonna take this off in case anybody wants to take a shot at it. And so in this case, I am entering the position, right? So because the position is coming in, then instead of saying 0, I'm gonna say, please put it into that position. That's what you meant with that position part. And then it will add it into that position. Okay, I'm gonna take this off now, and okay, so in this case, I will send the array of books, and then I will send a position, and I would say, hey, well, add it right in there. I create the book, add it in there, and returns. Okay, in here, this is hard-coded, but okay, we'll read from the user instead. Okay? So if my method says send the array of books and send the position, let's go back to the part where I call the method. And in here it says, instead of saying call add and book array, I would say add book array and then comma, and I will send the position. Oh, actually, let's change the variable name, okay? I'm going to create a new variable here, and it's going to say integer count equals 0. And count is going to keep the count of my elements, okay? So I'm just going to say, I'm going to send book array, and I'm going to send count, okay? And the main reason why I want to do this is because I want you to remind, to remind your 111 brain that if I call a method, with book array in this case and count, when I receive it here, the first part is an array, and then there is an integer. It's going to match here with an array of books and an integer. So in this case, book array has the same name, but it doesn't have to have the same name. It's just luck, okay? Position doesn't have the same name. It's pause and count. They are both integers, so it matches. And the way that I always tell my 111 students to look at this is like, in here, for example, if you see me, you say, professor, right? So, yeah, okay, I'm professor, right? But when I go home, I'm, hey, mom, you know, but it's me. It's still me. I go to a method, and then I go to another method, but it's still me. It's just different name, right? And if professor twists a finger, right, mom also has it twisted. Not broken up. No bad look. Okay, so something like that, right? So it's just a different number, different name. So this one will actually just put this one in here and then add it and return true because it added it, okay? So I want to ask you guys, what could happen that I ended up not adding, let's say this is already nicely done, positions are incrementing, and I am reading new elements for my book. What could happen that I am not able to add an element here? You see it says return true if the element was added. What could happen so that I don't add it? There you go, that's the easiest one. Yeah, it's small, so it's return false. And you can probably say, hey, no room, right? So there's other things, you know, maybe. I don't know, but this is the one that I'm aiming for, like, hey, there's no room, okay? So if there's no room, then you return false. Otherwise, you return true, okay? So in this case, I just have that. This, as you see, is by no means complete. But let's try to call it, right? And you know what? Let's call it. And then after we call it, let's system out println. Look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to print book array at position 0 dot toString. So I can use, again, right, the reference to that object and then use the toString method. So let's see if it works. And hopefully it will, because otherwise, oh no, it's going to take us a while. Okay, so I'm going to run the guy, and I'm going to say add a book. And there it is, add a book. Title, I love my dog, ISBN 1. So it's good. 0. Cool. Still end. Okay. So now let's take a look at finding a book. Print all the books. Finding a book, I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. If I need to find a book, okay? If I need to find a book, I will, if there is an error, you may return a negative number, right? And the integer find is you're gonna return the amount of times that you found the element inside there, okay? So if you return 0, you didn't find it. But if you return 1, you found it once, twice, 3 times, okay? And notice that in here I'm not saying that that it has to be a book that is same as another book. I'm just saying books with the same ISBN, which shouldn't be, right? Technically it shouldn't be, but you know, just check. Can you find that ISBN and how many times did you find it? Okay, I'm not asking for the positions where they were found or anything like that, just that. So if I wanted to do that, how would I do that? I want somebody to tell me in English. I don't want you to tell me in Java. I want you to tell me like, well, I will go here. You want to tell me? For what? I mean, not for what, but what is your condition?
Like my variable ID, I'll take a counter and then I'll start at 0 and I'll just go through.
Okay, how do you go through? That's a good way to go about it. Okay, that's perfect. So what would I check inside? What would I say? If what? What is my if statement inside that for loop? If what? I'm gonna just type here that I have a for loop. This is the find one, right? So let's say the find is I have the book ISBN and the book array. Okay, so I can say for where my incognito integer I equals 0 to I what? Oh, come on, you proposed it. Oh, no, I just want the condition. While I is, for I is actually less or equal. What do you guys want me to put? Is less or equal or less than? Depends on what you're going to put on the other side. Less than what? Size in here is defined up there, right? But it's not inside my method. It's in the main method. How do I get the size of an array with the array itself? Now, notice, guys, that I am saying book array dot length, so I don't have to go look for it or fish it anywhere. But look at this. In here, there is no parenthesis after length. Okay? Because, let me roll my eyes. It's not an instance. It's an instance variable from the array class. From the array itself, the length is an instance variable. It's not a method. It's an instance variable. So it's just dot length. Well, it's less than array dot length, comma. And then, okay, so there it is. And what did we say that we're going to look for? Yes. We said we are looking for the ISBN. So how do I get the ISBN? The get method from where? Remember, we are in the array. So we start with array. Tell me, John. Uh-huh. Where do I start? Yes. Aye, Captain. Okay. Okay. This gets the ISBN from the very first object referenced in position 0. Okay? And I am going to compare with what? Yep. Okay, I need my glasses. Okay, now let's do this. If then I am going to need to count because that's what I'm going to return, right? So I am going to declare a variable. How many times I found it? I'm going to say 0 at the beginning. And if I find it, I'm going to say times plus plus. Right? This one closes that one. The for loop goes in here. And then look at that. Instead of return this, I'm going to return times. And look, I am going to nicely fix that. But guys, I have to tell you something. Okay, how does it look? Looks good to you, first of all? Anybody think that you may have an error in there? There is a big error. But it's a 211 thing, so this is nothing that will come from 111. But this is something. There is a problem. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, I have put. Oh, actually, let's run it so you can see the error. Okay, so it's find, right, and I send the book array and the ISBN. Okay, so let's see. Find the book. For find the book, I am going to say find is a name, right? And then I'm going to send the book array. No. I'm sending the book array, and I am going to send the ISBN. I'm going to send 1, 2, 3, so that it is the one that I put in there. Okay? So I'm going to call number 1 first to add a book, then I'm going to find it. Okay? Hopefully that will work. Okay, find cannot become, oh, I put it in different order. Let me see. Where is find? Oh, ISBN and then the book array. I have to do it 1, 2, 3, comma, book R. Okay, so let's try now. What is now? Oh, non-static method. That's always gets me. Public, static. Static, in this case, just think of these guys. Static methods are only friends with static methods. So in your main method, just use static for every method. If you ever use a global variable, which I don't recommend, you may need sometimes, if it's in a where your driver is, you're going to have to make the variable static as well. So they are all kind of in the same team and work together, okay? We'll go over that later on in class. Okay, so let me clear this. Let's try again. I already made it static. Come on, guys. Still. Book R. What is that you cannot find? Dot. Get ISBN. Okay, let me go back in here and check. Oh, ISBN is all capitalized. You know, this is, actually, this is a good thing that all this is happening, because then we see, the error doesn't have to always be where you think it is. Get ISBN. Okay, let's see if this time. Come on. Okay, it seems like that. Okay, it's clear. Now let's run it. Oops, let's clear. And let's bring this up. Okay, so I'm going to add a book, which is already there. I'm going to find the book, right? There you go. That's my problem. There is your error. You got a null pointer exception. Okay? So now I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so when you go look at this, it's in line 76. So is this a line? Let me put the numbers here. Yeah, that's the line. Okay, that's where you get the null pointer exception. Okay, now I'm going to tell you why you get a null pointer exception. You see your array here of objects. When you declare an array of objects and there is nothing in your array, every single position in your array is null. Every single position, right, is null. Actually, let's make this size 3. Well, I don't have an eraser. Okay, so let's say that is null. Okay, so when you grab the first one, okay, you find everything. But when you get to the second position, there is nothing there. And remember, if I ever ask you in 211, what is null, the correct answer is nothing. Okay? So if it goes in there, so next time when it's at position 1, it's null. Okay? So it says book array at position I is null. And then you say from nothing, get the ISBN. So that is where it comes. Exactly there. Okay? Because you say, hey, I have nothing, and you want, oh, that's a null pointer exception. Boom, it goes on. Okay? So can't do like that. So, yes?
This only works if like the array is full.
If you erase what?
This only works if the array is like all filled out.
Yes, it will work like that. Or if you ask to make sure that it's not null. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to ask and make sure it's not null before I even dare to do that. So remember, guys, even if you think that you have stuff in all the positions of your array, sometimes you're going to have some positions full, then some empty, and then full again, you know, focus in the middle. Then what you want to do is every single time before you do anything with something that is supposed to be on an array, inside an array, ask, if this is not null, then do it. Otherwise, don't do it. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to go back in here. And that indeed works if everything is full. Okay? So I am going to say, before I do that, I'm going to say if book array at position I is not equal to null. Okay? Now, if that is not equal to null, let me go back in here, and somewhere in here, I have that. Let me mark it pretty. Okay. Now I'm saying, if it's not null, then I can go and check it out. Okay? But if it's null, don't dare that, because then it blows up. Okay? So first check. Now, we will never have this issue with primitive data types. So if you have an array of integers or doubles or characters, that's not going to happen. Because by definition, when you have an array of those things, something is put in there. And I mentioned that in the class, it's 0 for any numeric. So it's going to be a 0. So you have to account for that, knowing that you're going to have a 0. Whatever there's nothing, you haven't added anything, it's going to be 0. For the character, it's a real character that I can remember, and Boolean I can remember. It's probably false. Okay? So an array of Boolean is going to have one of them. So all of the primitive data types, no problem. But objects will always have null. Okay? So now I have this, right? So after this crash, I'm going to clear, I'm going to compile this guy, and I'm going to run it again. And here I go. I'm going to add the book that I know, and then I'm going to find the book. Okay? Did I find the book? Just as, or which one was? Yeah, right? It returned to find the book. But, oh, I returned something, but I didn't print it. Okay, but it didn't crash. Right? That's why testing is good, right? Okay, I know I did it, but it didn't return it. I mean, it returned something. I could go back in here and say, okay, you know, I printed this, whatever. Oh, it printed that book array at position 0. Find the book, and then, oh, I can actually say system.out.print. Okay, I went too crazy. I'm just going to print whatever find returns, because find is going to return a number, right? So find is supposed to return an integer, so I can say times found plus, and then whatever number times. Okay, so I just put that inside my... Guys, just one thing. You see how I did this? Just do one thing. Don't nest more than one. Okay? Like if you have a find 1, 2, 3 book array, and then another parameter, and then another method call in there, don't do it. People will kill you. Okay? In my job, when I was working, I had to fix the code of, not fix, but work with the code of some guy that had a method called within a method, and then that, an argument was another method called and another one, like that. But he went in each one of the parameters like 3 or 4 ways in, you know, 4 different things. And I remember I had to rewrite his code, and then I complained to somebody, and then the guys at work told me, oh, no kidding, he codes like that. So I'm gonna tell you guys, keep your karma clean. Don't code like that. It will work, but people will kill you. Anybody that has to work with your code, I still remember. It was in 2000 I was doing that. In 2000 I remember his face. So that's the karma, okay? So, and I like the guy, otherwise, not programming, but he was fun, but oh my God, no. So don't do that. So I did it once, that's it, that's your limit, once. Once is kind of fun, 2 is you're being mean, and 3, it's, I cannot say the word in here, but don't do that, okay? Okay, so let's try that. I'm gonna end here, I'm gonna compile my guy, I'm gonna run it, and I'm gonna say add the book, and then let me just move it a little bit here, and then I'm going to say find the book, and times found 1. Okay? Yep. Now this thing of finding a book, that's going to help you, because in your second assignment, guys, you need to add computers into an array, but your computers cannot be duplicates. And by that I mean they cannot have the same barcode. Right? So whenever you're going to add a computer, you first create a computer, everything fine, nice and dandy, right? And then you have to go into your array and find and make sure that there is no other computer with that barcode. And if that's the case, then you're going to add. Okay? then you will have to also delete a computer, okay? So when you delete a computer, you will have to find it. So there you go, the find that we did, right? So you're going to have to find the computer. If you find it, you delete it. If you don't find it, then you say, hey, I didn't delete it, it wasn't there. Now, based on that if you find it, you're going to delete it. What happens if the computer that you're looking for is not the first one or the last one? Actually, what if it's not the last one? If you're going to delete a computer from the middle, you have an array of size 20, 10 computers inside, and you're going to delete the computer at position 7. Okay? So, just letting you know, we can go a little bit more over this, but you have options. Okay, there's many right answers for that. One of the things you can do is say, okay, well, the first thing, guys, to delete something from an array, when there is objects, an array of objects, make that null. It's gone. Okay, so you have computer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is the one that you want to delete. Let's say position 7, array at position 7. You say array at position 7 equals 0, equals null, and that computer is gone. Okay? Because you just put nothing in there. Okay? But now you have a hole in the middle. Okay? There is a hole in the middle. So my question to you is, what are you going to do with that? Okay? So you have a choice. You can say, hey, I'm just going to leave it there. I don't care. Which is perfectly fine. I don't care either, right? Or you can say, hey, I'm going to move all the computers that are after that and shift them, which is doable. I had students do both ways. If you shift the computers, then you never have to worry that there's going to be a puka in the middle. And there's other things in adding, looking for, and everything where there may be problems if you have holes in the middle, right? But I personally don't care if there are holes in the middle, but you need to keep certain things. If you have holes in the middle and you're adding elements to it, if you're adding elements to it, then you have to say, where am I going to add them? Am I going to add them at the end, or am I going to add them in the first available position? So you're going to need to figure out 2 counters, one for how many elements you have, right? Actually, how many elements you have, and consider that there may be scattered all over. If you shift your elements, then there's going to be no holes in the middle. You know that you will always add at the end. So you have to consider that design decision is up to you. Both things are correct from my perspective. Each one of them has their own challenges. So you decide which way you want to go. You want to erase and just say null and then deal with the holes in there, the nulls, or you can say I'm going to shift everything. And to shift, there is no big, isn't that horrible. You may use another array. People have used 2 arrays, my students, where they move the elements to another array and they just keep them moving back and forth, because with the array methods that we learned this week, it's easy to create another array and just move them and move back and forth, So they have done that. I have seen many creative solutions, so that's up to you, but you will have to deal with that. Okay? So once you add, you're going to find, and then you're going to print them, which is just a loop, and printing to string, right? And remember, 2 decimals, okay? So in the printing part, you're going to do that, printing. And do we need to know this? How many books are in the array? Do we? Actually, guys, it depends. It will depend on the approach you took. Do you have pukas in the middle or not? Right? Because if not, then wow, and remember, we always can ask for null. If it's null, don't print it. Then you don't get a null pointer exception, so you don't need to know. Right? This can be done in several different ways. So that's up to whatever approach you selected, right? But printing books, instead of printing computers. But that's about it. So I'm going to stop this thing.